Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide. It's your guy Big Will when I'm back with this boxing talk. What's good with your fam? Hey, listen, I want to talk a little bit about Bernard Hopkins, man. He recently did an interview, man. He sat down with Boxing Scene, man, and he did an interview. And the title of the article was called Jermall Charlo Will Not Want to Face Canelo Alvarez After Watching That Left Hook to the Body. Now, as we all know, Canelo Alvarez went up against Rocky Fielding in a super middleweight bout last Saturday at Madison Square Garden, where he ended the fight with a vicious body shot. And he dropped Rocky Fielding with a couple body shots throughout the fight, and he also ended it with a body shot. Now, we know that Bernard Hopkins is part owner of Golden Boy Promotions. Canelo Alvarez is promoted by Golden Boy. But it's not so much as the title that caught my attention about Bernard Hopkins, but what was said in the article itself. I was actually surprised by what Bernard was saying in the article. Recently in the past, just as recent as weeks or a couple months ago, Bernard was all in the news stating that, Jermall Charlo has not done anything to earn a shot to fight Canelo Alvarez. You understand? And me, myself, I was kind of upset with Bernard about that, man. This guy's put himself in a position where he is now the mandatory for the WBC middleweight title, which is held by Canelo Alvarez. What more do you have to do? The WBC has mandated that he is the mandatory. So when Bernard Hopkins makes statements like that, man, it kind of pissed me off a little bit. But I'm glad to see that he has come to his senses. He was talking about in the article how he mentioned Daniel Jacobs, Triple G, Canelo Alvarez, and Jermall Charlo, how he would love to see those four guys have sort of a round robin and mix it up. He mentioned that the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, they all have championships. They all have, the NBA Finals, the Super Bowl, the World Series. And, he said how he would love to see these guys mix it up in championship fights and fight each other, And I tell you what, as a boxing fan, that's real refreshing to see, man, because, like I said, Bernard Hopkins has been very, very open and on his stance that, Jermall Charlo has not done anything to fight Canelo. He has said that about several different fighters, how fighters just can't jump the line, and face Canelo. Like we all know, Canelo definitely holds the keys to the car, definitely holds the keys to this boxing things, sort of like Floyd Mayweather did when he had his run, man. Canelo can choose who he fights, when he fights, where he fights. It's all up to him, man, because Canelo brings the money. He puts the asses in the seats. He makes people click order on their cable remote to order that pay-per-view. He makes people subscribe to the DAZN. You know what I mean? Canelo Alvarez is very, very popular, possibly the biggest superstar in the sport of boxing right now. I think that is the case, man. So, it's real refreshing to hear Bernard Hopkins stating that, he wants to see these four guys mix it up, because these are the four guys who I see as well, and a lot of the other boxing public and insiders see as the four best middleweights in the world. Jermall Charlo, Danny Jacobs, Gennady Golovkin, and Canelo Alvarez. And if these four guys can start mixing it up, man, it would be great. It would be spectacular, man. It would be our own golden era. Like back in the 80s, they had the Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, and Marvin Hagler. Those guys mixed it up, man. Those guys fought each other, and we can have that very same thing with these middleweights that we got today, man. And I believe that these fights will be just as exciting. Take a look at the Golovkin and Canelo. Both fights were very, very exciting. The second one was much more exciting than the first one. I mean, action-packed, mano y mano, man against man. Them dudes was putting in work, man. Them dudes was throwing heavy shots, going in there trying to hurt each other. And I think it would be no different if the other three guys were to get in the mix as well. Comfortable at 168 pounds and 160, that he will be able to move back and forth, that he will be able to satisfy both weight divisions, and I think he said he didn't have an ounce of fat on him when he weighed in with Rocky Fielding. I believe he weighed in at more. He weighed in more than Rocky Fielding, you know what I mean? So, maybe it can be done, There's not a whole lot of elite talent at the 168-pound division, but there are some guys up there who can give Canelo some competition, man. Maybe not big money fights, but there are some competition out there. Right now they're talking about Callum Smith. Callum Smith is a big guy, man. He's long, he's rangy, and he punches hard. A lot of people over here in the States are dismissing Callum Smith, as if he is a bum or something, man. But Callum Smith is not a bum. You know what I'm saying? He knocked Rocky Fielding out in the first round in their matchup. You know what I mean? He could fight, man. He could fight. He destroyed George Groves a little while back, man. I actually think him and Canelo would be a good matchup, man. He's not, I thought Rocky Fielding would come in there and use his jab, use his range, use his length, use his height advantage to ward off Canelo a little bit. I do believe a guy like Callum Smith would come in there and use his height, use his reach advantage over a guy like Canelo Alvarez. It would be a real fight, man. It would be definitely a test for Canelo. And I think it'll be a dangerous fight. Callum Smith can't punch. He is way bigger than Canelo Alvarez. If you looked at the fight with George Groves and just remember how massive Callum Smith looked in the ring against George Groves. And George Groves is a solid, 168 pounder. I believe Callum Smith can go up to light heavyweight if he want to. You know what I mean? But Bernard Hopkins is saying the right things as being a co-promoter over there in Golden Boy. Hopefully he's serious about what he's saying. Hopefully we can get these guys in the ring in 2019. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm really looking forward to it. But we'll stay tuned, man. I'll keep on top of this, man. You guys keep coming back on this channel and check it out for more content. If you're new to the channel, don't leave out of here without subscribing. Don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I'm dropping more videos. This is Big Will, and you have been watching Big Faces Worldwide. I'll holla back.